The next project on the Back to Basics series will be a vertical stand for my drill press and grinder. The design is rock solid. The wood cost about $25 and the design can be amended to suit any piece of workshop machinery. In the next segment I will dry fit the arrangement with only 50% of the dowels which have been drilled. And this is intended to demonstrate just how strong and accurate the Dowelmax system is. Let's get started. As you can see for this framework, most of the joints are four dowel configuration, and for the purposes of this demonstration we're going to install two. That's 50% of all the joints. So there's no glue been used. There's only 50% of the dowels been used. It's an absolutely solid construction already. And this helps us demonstrate just how strong and accurate the Dowelmax system is. It's the strongest there is on the market. And that includes the mortise and tenon and domino. Now the first joint I'm going to demonstrate is this one here. You'll notice that the design is angled at 8 degrees because to give it more stability, which means you have to cut all these rails at 8 degrees. Use the same setting on your track for your table saw to do all these at the same time. Just turn them over as required. Make sure your blade is absolutely vertical. Now we begin in the normal way. We place two pieces together. These are your two reference faces, two check marks or numbers, whichever you like. Two check marks on the top end here and X on the surface to be drilled. Now these check marks are duplicated on the Dowelmax device. Same down here, check mark, and the check mark up here. This is the reference face too. So we begin with the rail. Now, one of the interesting things to notice is that these are all set at 8 degrees. Now, you might worry about how you're going to set your joint at 8 degrees, but you don't have to worry about that with Dowelmax because it automatically adjusts. You'll see that, you'll notice that this is the horizontal axis here, and carried on by this one, and you'll notice that in here is an exact 8 degree. If this is exactly 8 degrees, that will be exactly 8 degrees. So the Dowelmax adapts to whatever angle is. Doesn't matter whether it's 22.5, 45, it will adapt to that. Now we'll begin the first one. Now on Dowelmax there's corresponding check marks machined on there, and you just align those with here. Now this is 7/8. If it was 3/4 we would just use the device in its normal configuration, but this is 7/8. So there's a simple rule for centering on 7/8. 7/8 half to 7/16, less 3/8 is a 16th. So what we do is we just slot this spacer, 16 spacer in here, and we'll be exactly within thousandths of an inch. If this is exactly 7/8, will be exactly in the center. Now, as I say, we put the check mark to the check mark, and align this end up here. And I've already drilled these, so I want to make sure I'm back in exactly the same place. And then I'm just going to drill this first one, but so we'll just do it. So that's that one done. Now we take the Now, to save time, this is a second Dowelmax device, just to save time. This is 1.5 inches, so again we want to center, well, it's not so much center, but give us an offset, whatever it is. So I'm going to use the 3/8 spacer. Now if this was exactly 1.5 inches, 1.5 half is 3/4, less 3/8 is 3/8, so we use the 3/8 space to center on here, which does the same thing. So that's just installed between the reference bracket and the reference block. Just install that, tighten up, and once again you'll be exactly in the center. So again, check mark to check mark, one up here. Bring this up to the end. And drill 1, 2, 3, and 4 for this particular one. Slide it down to the other end. And then we use this, doesn't come with the kit, but you can buy this at Home Depot. It's a extended, what we call an extended distance gauge. And we install that in I usually use the last hole. Make sure it's absolutely level and centered. And up against the rod here. And then drill 1, 2, 3, and 4 again. And now that is the strongest joint on the market. The next joint, this is the end elevation, this is the front elevation. The next joint I'm going to show you is this one here. Now it may look the same as that one, but it's not, because you'll see this is actually a face joint. So Dowelmax in its normal configuration can't do that, so we'll have to change to what we call the second configuration, and I'll show you that, and that enables you to drill into the face of the wood. Let's get started. We begin as before, marking your check marks. This is reference. Don't worry about the offset here. It's 3/8 offset. These are the two reference faces, two check marks up here. This top face is machined, milled to an 8-degree angle to make it absolutely level with this one. And the next be where you're going to be drilling. Now this one, apart from the taper up here, the 8-degree taper, is identical to the previous demonstration, so we won't redo that one. The same thing again, using the 16 spacer. Now when we come to do the face joint here, this is Dowelmax in the normal configuration, so what we do, we can't drill anyway there. So what we do is remove this, what we call the clamp bracket, in its entirety, and then you just take that right off with these two studs and knobs, and you bolt it onto these two here. You take that and you put it on there, and now we have this here. And I'm going to show you this upside down so you can actually see it. This again, check mark to check mark, check mark to check mark, like that. Come up to here, and you reference to the edge there, tighten, and in this case we drill 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll be drilling in this way, of course, but 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that's it finished. And once again, an extremely strong joint. The next joint I'm going to demonstrate is this one here. This is a 1x2 attached to on the end elevation. It's got two dowels on each end. Now once again you'll note when you begin to see the idea, this is also a face joint like the top, but since it has to form an edging for the lower shelf. We have to fit it to the inside of the this leg. Okay, let's get started. So as normal, we begin with the alignment marks, check marks. Now we want this to be flush this time because, as I say, it forms the edge of the shelf. So check mark here, here, there, and X is on the surface to be drilled. Realise that this is the inside of the leg. Now, this is 1 by 2, so it's the same check mark to check mark, check mark to check mark. Just align it along to the edge, tighten, and then drill 1 and 2. Now, as I said, this next one's a face joint, and well, first of all, to align it, to align all 4, these legs are all identical in length, identical. And when you do this, you do all 4 of them to make sure that you're going to be an absolute, you don't want the rail to be like this, you want it to be absolutely level. So we have to get them all in the identical position. So you can clamp this, whatever you like. We could use the extended distance gauge, I suppose, from here, but we come down at an angle, and I don't quite like that, so it's not quite as accurate. So this is another way I've devised to do this, is to get them all lined up, find the position you want, and draw a line. Now this line, you must always be on the face you're going to be drilling in. So you draw a line right across there, now you know you're in the identical position. So now we use Dowelmax again in its second configuration. Put it on here like this, bring it down to your line, bisect it, clamp, and then drill 1 and 2. And you'll be absolutely flush. As I say, that forms the edging for the shelf.